Hello punters and welcome back to another Saturday racing preview. Of course, we've got Stakes Day this Saturday. Really looking forward to the meeting. Obviously, the final day of the Spring Carnival, technically in the Flemington Racing Melbourne Cup Carnival, but still got some terrific racing to come. Also, we've got a really good meeting up at Randwick as well, so I'll be looking forward to getting into that as well in my second video. Look, I do really want to put my first and foremost the apologies out for the lateness of this video. I do apologise. Just had been quite busy at the moment. I was up at Cranbourne tonight at the races, so look, for me, I just have to apologise to you guys. Hopefully, a lot of you can still get on and watch this before tomorrow's racing, so fingers crossed. But we'll still get in. We'll still try and find the winners. Worst case scenario, go follow my social media pages. I'm always posting on there, so you'll never miss a tip if you go and have a look at my social media pages. But I'll do my best, the best I can, to make sure that the videos from now on are up to date and are very, I guess, out nice and early for you guys to try and give you my preview and all my tips for the weekend. So we're going to Flemington first. At the track at the moment, it's good 4. There is showers around, so I'm very intrigued on if they'll get upgraded to a soft 5. I'm actually surprised it's at a good 4, to be honest. Had a lot of rain here in Victoria, but regardless, we'll go into it. Race number 1 on the card, 600 metre benchmark 90. Look at the speed map for this first race of the card, and looks to be quite a lot in it. I'd say that Al Passam will go forward. Reserve Street should be able to get a nice, I reckon, a box seat off the inside barrier. Plot the course will be close enough. Hunter Moster and Sunday Parade will probably look to get across from outside barriers. Look, this first race, I'm pretty keen. I think Reserve Street maps really well. I know Kieran Moe and Dave Eustace were very keen on it a few weeks ago. It was scratched. It's been saved this event. Looks to just draw perfectly. Ryan Moore in the saddle. This horse has just been a real model of consistency. He hasn't missed the top 3 finish in the 6 starts so far this preparation. So, and from barrier 1, it looks really hard to beat. I mean, $5.50, $2 a place. It looks a really good each way play. I'll be pretty keen to take it. It wins and places on all conditions. So if we get in that soft track tomorrow, I still won't have too much concern. Look at the last start. It just got too far back. Carried the 60 kilos. Was charged home late by Cuba, who stole the race on that occasion at Moonee Valley. Prior to that, won the Bairnsdale Cup beating Heptagon. Won the Tatura Cup beating Belt Well Sprung. And prior to that, had 4 round Rocks the Castle. So, I mean, it's in a good vein of form, and I think it's good enough to win this sort of race here. So I'm going to have it on top of the $5.50 and $2 the play. So very good each way play. Number 2, Branier for second. This horse comes back to Flemington. It's has performed at this track before. 5 starts for the win and 2 placings. It was really good last night behind Cascadian at Randwick. I think that's pretty good form. Cascadian has come down, run well here at Flemington during the carnival. So the form looks quite good around Cascadian. So I'm happy to have this horse in for second. In the third, number 1, Mandela Effect. Well, this horse has been banging on the door, and it's been well on the market its last few starts. Just hasn't quite got the job done. But if we get on that soft range tomorrow, I think this horse will be a very good chance. And I mean, similarly, even on the good track, it'll still be a good chance. It was quite good in the Sale Cup last night. It was just beaten by a better horse on that occasion in Goldfields. Probably was a fraction unlucky. Prior to that, was had form behind Rocks the Castle. Was only 1.3 lengths off there. And 0.7 a length first up Moonee Valley. It was a flashing run from back in the field. So this horse is getting very close to a win, and we'll appreciate coming back to the bigger track at Flemington, I think. But just couldn't take $3.70 about a horse that's been in the market a few times and hasn't got the job done. So I'm willing to look past it. And number 7, Flying Sardines, a bit of each way value here. If you want to have an each way play on this horse, I probably wouldn't tell you not to. It was very good last time out at Mornington in a benchmark 90. Flashed home late by Darren Roman at $51. I think that's decent enough form to bring into this, and it's a horse that, if the rain comes, this horse will come right into the equation. It's had 13 starts on a soft track for 5 wins, 3 placings, and it's had 11 starts on a heavy track for 3 wins, 3 placings. So if the rain comes, I'll definitely be suggesting an each way bet on this horse. But look, for me, I'm going to have number 4, Reserve Street on top for me. In for second, number 2, Rainier. In for third, number 1, Mandela Effect. And in for fourth, number 7, Flying Sardine. Race number 2, and it's the 2,000 metre benchmark 90 race. And look at the speed map for the second race of the card. Say We Take Manhattan will find the top. Lucky for All won't be too far off. Settle the Sun, I think, will try and look for the speed, as will Savvy Oak. And Snitzer Peak probably won't be too far off either. But Interesting race, this one. I think it's a real tough one, actually. There's a few that you can really make a good case for. I'm going to be with number 7, Grinzinger Star here. Damien Oliver's is on fire this carnival, and going to stick with him here. I thought there was a good effort last time out by an Extreme Pride at Caulfield at the benchmark 80. Steps up in class here, but it also steps up in distance. Comes up to that 2,000 metre range, which it enjoys. Last time it was at this sort of distance range. It was 4th at Flemington as a beaten favourite. It was beaten by Original Drive, who I'll make a case for in a second. But prior to that, it beat Divination at Caulfield, Mr. Quickie at Caulfield at this sort of distance. So steps up to the right type of distance range. It's a pretty. I just think a third up here. It's just been targeting this race and it's ready to go, and it will fire third up here. Numbers 12, Ridgewood Drive, is the one I want to make a case for. $17 is massive overs for me about a horse that finally gets up that 2,000 metre mark. It was terrific last night at Geelong. Made ground from the back on a day that wasn't really too many doing so. I thought that was a great effort. And 2 back when it was here at Flemington was really good by We Take Manhattan. Came from a long way back on that occasion as well. So I think this horse just might be a decent each way chance. Barrier 1's a bit of a concern. It's going to have to need a little bit of luck from there. But in a small field, I think it can get into a good enough spot to come into the race and really maybe just charge home late and give it a bit of a shout. In the third, number 8, Starcaster. Now, I did like this horse first up in Australia when it came here, but it was a little bit of disappointing run by an Extreme Pride. So I thought Grinzinger Star was better on that occasion, so I want to stick with it. But here's the big key. If the rain comes tomorrow, Starcaster jumps up in my numbers. This horse that loves a soft track. 4 starts for a win and 3 placings. Second up stats are terrific. 4 starts for 2 wins and a placing. So this is a horse that, for me, the rain comes tomorrow, I might lean more towards it, especially that $5, $1.75 mark, whereas Grinzinger Star, I think, it remains on that good forward track. I'd be pretty keen to go with it. And even for 4th, number 2, We Take Manhattan, I think, again, has a good chance here once again. So 2 starts this preparation for 2 wins, winning the Horsham Cup and also beating a decent field at Flemington, a benchmark 78 there. Loves running at this track. It's had 3 starts at the track for 2 wins, so I can definitely make a good case for it third up. Just think 320 is just right at the bottom of the odds for that horse, but a little bit of respect there. So recap the numbers for me. Race number 2, number 7, Grinzinger Star at $3.30 on top for me. Ahead of number 12, Ridgewood Drive, and for second. And for third, number 8, Starcaster. As I mentioned, if the rain comes and we get that soft track by race number 2, it'll go up into my top pick. And number 2, We Take Manhattan in for 4th. Move on to race number 3. It's a 3-year-old race here over the 1,400 metres. It's the World Racing Springtime Stakes. Look at the speed map for this race here. It's an interesting one. We've got a real, I guess, a bit of a favourite here in the James Cummings run of Nick Point. Interesting to see how it'll go. I see a high-low leading here on this with Sophia's Choice, perhaps booting up from barrier number 1 and getting close enough. From there, it's a bit of a guessing game, really. Banquo got just in behind the speed last time out. Nick Point will probably try and get across into a decent enough spot. So a real interesting speed battle there for me. Look, I'm quite keen with what I see of the speed map. I think number 1, Highlights Overs here at the $13. I thought it was quite good last time out behind Flemington, beaten by Dallas Sand. Of course, that was only a couple of days ago. It was last week. So 7-day backup for this horse. Comes back to the track. It was pretty good on that occasion. I thought I can think that run was good enough. Prior to that, it was only just narrowly beaten at Caulfield in a good 3-year-old race there. It's been around the right sort of form lines. I think it might be hard to beat. I can see it dictating the terms up the front. And I just think it's better value than its stablemate here. I do have a lot of respect for it, and it is my second pick, but I just think 215 is a little bit short for this horse. I know it's got a lot of ability and it looks to be a real smart type, but coming off a Newcastle benchmark 64, I know it beat Pelorian, who has since come out and won, so the form looks really good around it. But for me, it just come from a 64 into a proper 3-year-old race at $2.25. A little bit short for me, so I'll put him for second. In for third, number 6, Banquo, who, as I mentioned before, will probably get a very good run of the race. Was terrific when it's maiden. Again, though, coming out from a maiden into a decent class of race here. It's going to have to improve, but has always shown to have a bit of ability, this horse, so I think it's got a decent enough chance of the $5 and $1.80 the place. And I thought number 7, Florite Pica, was a bit of overs here at the $26. I thought its win last time out at Cranbourne, getting its maiden out of the way, was terrific. Came from a long way back in the field, stormed down the outside, finished over the top of them, beat Call Me Seamus on that occasion, who was come out, got its maiden out of the way, so the form's decent enough around it. So I think it's got his chance as well. The other horse that I thought might just be a bit of a shout is number 4, Triton Rising. I've been waiting for this horse to produce something. It's at the $26, and it wouldn't surprise if it pops up and does something here. It was a bit disappointing last time out by an Alabama Express. Was on it on that occasion, but comes back to Flemington. And prior to that run last start at Flemington, it finished only a length off Soul Patch, and that run that day was the run of the day. So if it can produce that sort of performance here once again, it could go very close to winning. And I think the $26 or $5 a place is massive overs and could probably be worth a bit of a spec here, I think, coming back to Flemington. So recap the numbers for me though. Race number 3, number 1, Hilo is the one to beat for me. Out of number 3, Nick Point in for second. In for third, number 6, Banquo. In for fourth, number 7, Florite Pica. Moving to race number 4, it's a 2,600 metre Group 3 Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Decent field going around here. Look at the speed map for this one. I'd say Ventura Storm and Cariff will be up there. Sir Charles Road, midterm, be close enough. But, I mean, the speed's probably there for one to take, and I think Ventura Storm might actually take up the running. But, real interesting race, this one. And it's been a little bit hard because some of my fancy runners will be back in the field, so they're going to need the tempo on. But I'm going to go number 2, Gate Chieftain here for me. I think this race sets up pretty nicely for it. It was decent enough last time out behind Hush Ride on a day where the leaders were just I guess out in front, bowling along and very hard to run down. So I'm going to forgive that. The blinkers come on this time. I think it can make a sharp improvement. But prior to that, it was superb by and come play with me. It was a terrific run. Comes back that sort of run, it'll go very close to winning here. I think $7.50, $2.20 the place is a good each way odds to take. Number 5, True Self, well, it's got a lot of ability, this horse, and I know that William Mullins has brought this horse down for a reason. It obviously couldn't quite get into the Cup, but that form by Prince Aaron in the Geelong Cup looks very good for this. So $1.95 is a bit short for me, but I can see why it's there. And I mean, this horse is a winner. It's had 19 starts for 8 wins, 5 placings. It's had 6 starts on a soft track for 4 wins and a placing, and 6 on a good. So no matter what surface we get, this horse will go very close. And again, that form by Prince Aaron looks to tie in really well for a race like this. Just $1.95 for me is a little bit short. Number 8, Cariff has got its chance. I think it was an excellent run last time out behind Down Draft. It was making the ground on that occasion at Flemington. The only thing is, if it gets into that soft range, this horse will come out of contention. But if we stay on that good track, this horse got a great chance. But in saying that, it was very good on that occasion on a soft track at Flemington last week. So the quick backup, this horse got its chance. Number 7, top of the range, was superb return to form. Then it's going to be my 4th pick here. Won the Bendigo Cup, of course. Flashing home late with a great ride under William Pike and went over the top of Broom Rocks. But similarly, this horse doesn't like a wet track. So if I get that wet track, I'll move that out. And I'll put Red Cardinal in, who I just think from the gate and the way the race is going to be run, it just looks to be getting too far back. But in saying that, was very good coming out of that Geelong Cup. And if you don't have True Self at $1.95, and this horse at the $10, when this horse was only a length or so off True Self, just doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'll be putting this horse in if the rain comes, and I think it'll suit this horse much better. But look, real open race here, and I'm going to stay with number 2, Gaelic Chief, each way. I think this is the race for it. It's been set for this, and I think it can go very close to winning. In for second, number 5, True Self. In for third, number 8, Carif, and in for fourth, number 7, Top Range. But as I mentioned, Red Cardinal will jump in if we get on that soft track. Moving to race number 5, it's a Daly Sprint Classic, always one of the features of Stakes Day at Flemington, over the 1,200 metres, weight for age race. Look at the speed map here. I'd say Nature Strip, Malibu Style will lead. Well, Nature Strip will definitely lead, you'd say. Loving Gabby, Bostonian won't be too far off. But I'd see Nature Strip getting the lead here and probably dictating the terms. And it'll just be a matter of if he can go all the way. Look, I'm very keen to be number 1, Santana Lane here. I think coming back to Flemington, it looks like it'll be its race. It was such a good run at the Everest. It was so lucky not to win. I was spewing it didn't get up. We made it one of my best bets. Prior to that, it was only half a length beaten by Sunlight. That was a superb run as well. This horse is building towards something. And this is going to be the race for it, I think. As long as we don't get that heavy range, which I don't think we will. I think it'll be either a soft or a good track. This horse is going to be extremely hard to beat. 225 is right at the rock bottom odds, but I'm keen to have a good each way. A good big go at it. In for second, number 2, Nature Strip, as I mentioned, will lead all the way and it might actually be hard to run down. That run in the Everest was absolutely terrific. Of all the on-speed runners, was the only one that sort of stuck on and kept running. This horse has 3 from 3 at the track. It's 3 starts for 2 wins on a soft track, so if we get that rain affected going, no problems to this horse. I just think that maybe it's flying a little bit under the radar, and it could be a real good chance here to knock off the champ, Santana Lane. So they're definitely the 2 to beat. I find those 2 extremely hard to beat. Number 9, Loving Gabby's goes in next for me. I think she was obviously terrific winning the Manicato. Was very keen on that night. She gets a similar weight, 51.5 kilos. Craig Williams in the saddle is winning everything at the moment, so it would not surprise if this horse comes out and wins this one, but it's a big step in class, and it'll be interesting to see if it can do it. Number 8, Elite Say, bit over the odds that she is, I think, at the $9.50. She was not too bad in the Everest, so it was a decent enough run there, and comes back to Flemington, which she has run at the track before, and she obviously had a placing. That was in the All-Star Mile. Comes back 1,200 metres here, so I think James Cummins figured out just keep her with the 1,200 metre form, and she seems to go really well on that, so it's got a decent enough chance. Number 5, Malibu Style. I know it's a big step in class, but $51 this horse, a bit ridiculous, really. I mean, it's come off the quick backup from 7 days back, but if we get the rain, this horse is well on the chance as well. $51 is just massively over the odds. But look, for me, I'm very keen to play Santana Lane here. I think this is the race for him. He's going to be hard to beat. If a second, Nate Strip, very terrified of this horse. If he shows up and he does the right manners and he gives him something to run down, he runs out at 1,200, he will not be beat. So he is the one to beat, and he will be hard to beat. But I'm very keen on Santana Lane. In for 3rd, number 9, Loving Gabby. In for 4th, number 8, Elite Say. We've got race number 6. It's the Tab Matriarch Stakes for the Mares Group 2 race over 2,000 metres. Look at the speed map in this one. I'd say Amagiri, another $1. Aristocratic Miss will be up there. Spanish Reef usually gets forward. Ocean X Rondinella will probably kick up from inside barriers. And Miss Siska and Graceful Glamour, she'll spear across from the outside barrier as well to get prominent. Real interesting race, this one. This is probably the toughest race of the card, and as such, I have looked at each way odds here. I think that we can find plenty of value here, and I'm pretty keen to beat number 5, Aliferous for me. I think this horse, as long as it's going to need a little bit of luck, so it does get back at its runs and look to run on, and obviously we have to see how the track plays, because the track has played to the middle so far, which if we do get that, some of my tips will come into contention. But if it plays more of the rail, then we'll have to change up a little bit. But we'll see how the day goes. Keep an eye on my social media pages. I'll be posting if track conditions change, etc., etc. But for me, race number 5, Aliferous, looks hard to beat here for me. I'm keen to be with it on top. That was a huge run a couple of days back against Shawnee. It was charging home from the back. Of course, that was on the 5th. So what was that? That was on Cup Day. So it's a real quick backup here. And I think this horse just might be well over the odds here. And $16, and we'll have an each way played it. Now, this horse is crazy odds, and you're going to think I'm absolutely insane for tipping it, but I'm going to have something each way. Number 15, Navatia here. I think this Pat Carey horse at 151 to 1 is just well over the odds. You just ignore last time out. Had a heart irregularity last time out at Flemington, the Empire Rose. That was a Group 1 race. He did decide to throw at the deep end there. Prior to that, it was second in a Cranbourne Cup line, Dr. Drill. That's some pretty good form. Prior to that, it was second behind Egyptian Gold, who led all the way at Moonee Valley. So this is a horse that maybe I think is just a bit over the odds. If it can reproduce that Cranbourne Cup run, it could run a good place here. And I think if we get that soft track, this horse will come into it. It looks like a horse that does suit the wet going. So interesting. I just think it's a bit over the odds for me, and I'm going to have it in for second. I just think each way spec, it's worth something, especially on the place. So they could see it running a decent running for the place, but. Look, Amagiri will be hard to beat again if she leads all the way on the speed, but she won't get that easy time like last time out, and comes up to 2,000 metres here, which they've been waiting to do. Was beaten by just held off Shield, which she brings last time out, who has continued her decent form. So the form around it has been good. $9.53, 20 the place. Does look pretty good for me. Number 4, Natoya for Wendy Roche. This horse has got a decent enough chance as well. It was a terrific run 2 back, where it obviously beat Delegation Girl in a Group 3 race at Randwick, and then last start it just was never able to come in from the back behind Melody Bell. So this horse has got a decent enough chance as well. I think it's a bit over the odds. So very tough race for me, and as such I've looked wide in it. So I've gone number 5 for me, Aliferous on top. Thought that run was huge last time out on Tuesday. Number 15, Navatia, as I mentioned, I just think it's just crazy odds at 151 to 1. Number 3, Amagiri in for third. In for fourth, number Number 4, Natoya. Number 1, Spanish Reef has its chance. It obviously comes back to Flemington here. Loves this track. 7 starts the track for 4 wins, 2 placings, but it's never won at the distance from 6 attempts. So that's my only question here. It was excellent in that Empire Rose Stakes. It was coming home late, but this question coming up to the 2,000 metres of that horse. Another $1 has a decent enough chance of Chris Wallen, James McDonald. Obviously, this horse coming from Rose Hill where it finished behind Tally. Just not sure if that's quite the right form for this compared to some of the others, but it's got a decent enough chance. Rodinella, well, it's really D-Day for this horse now to prove it. I mean, it's been well back to the last few starts behind Spanish Reef and Princess Jenny. This might be the one. They've saved it for a bit with this horse, and maybe this is the race for it. But for me, 420 be the favourite. A bit short for me. But number 13, Guild Tuesday, has a decent enough chance as well. I mean, it's never really been much of a wet tracker. It doesn't mind the soft track, but it was really good last time behind Amangiri as well. So, interesting race, as that's why I've gone wide in it. Race number 7, 1400 metre Group 3. It's the Network 10 Chatham Stakes. Looking at the speed map in this one, I'd say that Kaspersky might get forward, but it's a horse that obviously first up in Australia did go back in the field. Tommy Melbourne, Iconoclasm, they'll be up there. I'd say Haunted shouldn't be too far off either, but not a whole lot of speed in the race. And I want to see Kaspersky jump up and get out here, because I think it's got a decent chance at the big odds. Look, I'm going to stick with... where is it? I've just lost it. Number 5, Haunted here. I think this horse was scratched during the on the Tuesday and was saved this race. Or was it Thursday? I think Derby, it might have been Oaks Day, sorry. But this horse, anyway, regardless, this horse was scratched and it's come into this race now. And I think if we get that soft track, this horse will be a huge chance of the $7.50. So I'll wait and see on the track conditions. But for me, $7.50 is well over the odds for this horse, who comes to the 1400 metres. Karen McVoy in the saddle. Looks to get a decent enough run from Barrett 12. I think they can follow him across, just sit him behind, get the box seat. Could be really hard to beat. That run behind beaten Parcel last start was excellent. That horse has come out and since won, so the form's pretty good around it. Prior to that was behind Be Good to Your Mother, who of course came out and won Group 1 race. So it's decent enough form. Number 5, Haunted, is still as good each way odds. Number 2, Widgie Turf. He always runs his great race, but this race doesn't look to suit on paper, although the rain comes, he'll be a huge chance. He was excellent on Iconoclasm, carrying the 61 kilos last time out. Comes to Flemington, gets that time to wind up. He'll be right in the finish. Number 7, Kaspersky, as I mentioned, I just think is just ridiculous odds. $81 for this horse. It was disappointing last time out behind Deprived, but that's a very good form race to bring into this. He has had a good recent trial at Benalla. Second up stats are really good. 7 starts for 2 wins, 2 placings. Loves a wet track. So if we get that wet track, I think this horse comes right into contention. This horse that over the UK was group competitive. Group 1, weight for age form. Group 2, weight for age form. Came second in Group 3 behind Ballet Concertero. Then came obviously to Caulfield and finished behind Toast and Stardom. Had a big spell after that. And just for me, I just think it's a horse that maybe is just a bit over the odds for a horse that has group quality form coming into this at $81. You just think that that's a bit ridiculous odds. If Michelle Payne, she decides to go forward in this horse, she might lead and dictate the terms and might be given something to run down. So it's got a decent enough chance for me. Then if for 4th, number 6, Iconoclasm, I really couldn't leave it out. Did hold off Widgie Turf fair and square last time out the Valley. But if it does rain, I'll be taking this horse out. It's not a wet tracker in the slightest, so a bit of a question there. If it does rain, number 3, Admiral's Joker will come into this in flying form at the moment. Has had 3 wins in a row this preparation, including last night winning the Seymour Cup, and prior to that beat Roxor Castle at Caulfield. So the form around this horse is terrific, and it's a winner, so it'll be right at the finish as well. But for me, number 5, Haunted, is one to go at the each way odds for me. I'm going to have it on top to beat number 2, Widgie Turf, in for 2nd. In for 3rd, number 7, Kaspersky, as I mentioned, just a bit over the odds for me. In for 4th, number 6, Iconoclasm. If I mentioned, though, if we get that soft track, number 3, Admiral's Joker comes into my top 4. We're on to race number 8, and it's the weight for age Group 1 McKinnon Stakes over the 2,000 metres. Look at the speed map in this one. I'd say Harlem will get towards the top. Magic Wand will probably look to lead. Gallo Shop and Hartnell will be up towards the speed as well. Not a whole lot of speed in the race, though. And I'm very keen to have a play at this horse. Number 7, Harlem. I think he's flying, and I think he's a huge odds. $34, $9 the place. It was a bit disappointing in the Cox plate, but I think coming back to Flemington, it'll suit much more. And Jamie Carr's in the saddle. She rates this horse well. If it comes back to that sort of form, 2 back in the Ladbroke Stakes behind Cape of Good Hope, it'll be a huge chance here. And for me, I don't want to leave it out at this track and distance. It loves this track, but the big key for this horse is if we get that soft track, he won't be on my on topper. But I will have an each way go at him regardless. So he's on top for me at this stage. Ahead of number 3, Humidor, who comes back to Flemington. I'm going to give him another chance here to prove his worth. He was a bit disappointing last time out at Moonee Valley. I thought he'd run well there behind Hunting Horn. But again, this horse does get the wet track. It's no problems for him. He comes to Flemington. He's won here 3 times from 8 starts. So maybe he's just looking to come back to Flemington and be at this sort of distance range of the 2,000 metres. So I'll give him a decent enough chance, $11. I'm going to have him in. In for 4th, number 8, Kingswood Dream. I thought it was a bit of overs at the odds. So I thought he comes back to the scene of the crime where he won his Turnbull Stakes, and he is very good at this track. 6 starts for 3 wins, 2 placings, and the rain comes, he'll have no problems with that either. He was pretty good in the Cox Plate. I thought he had a good run from back in the field, but he comes back here to Flemington, which he enjoys. Going to have an each way play at him as well. The $10 at 260 the place looks pretty good for me. I'll be having it in my numbers. And then number 15, Melody Bell. We can't leave it out, but $3 is a bit short for me. I'm just thinking that she's coming up against the real top liners here. She's going to have to really lift off her last start, and I'm willing to go around her. Number 11, 50 Stars backs up. I couldn't believe he didn't get up. He just got narrowly held off on last start. I think he's got a decent enough chance of the $14. Number 14, Magic Wand, who always been a key fan of this horse, and if it can be towards the speed and they go slow, it'll be stick on well, I think, as well. And you can't leave out the Japanese horses the way they're travelling with Kluger and Suzuka Devius, so they're also a chance. And number 2, Gallows Shop. Hartnell always runs his good races. It's a terrific addition to the McKinnon Stakes, and Hartnell in his last race, it'd be fantastic to see him go out with a win, wouldn't it? But for me, look, I'm going to go at number 7, Harlem. While it's a good 4 track, for getting that soft range, though, I'll be bumping him out. I'll be putting number 8, Kingswood Dream, in. Number 3, Humidor's got to be in the mix as well. Got him as my second selection. I've got number 8, Kingswood Dream, as my third selection. I'm just looking at it now. I probably should switch them over because from a betting perspective, I probably would look at number 8, Kingswood Dream, if we get that wet track. But I'll leave it for now. Number 7, Harlem on top. In for second, number 3, Humidor. In for third, number 8, Kingswood Dream. And then in for fourth for me, number 15, Melody Bell. Final race of the card, and this will wrap up the Spring Carnival racing at Flemington Melbourne Cup Carnival. Look at 1,100 metres, benchmark 80 here. Look at the speed map for this one. I'd say Big Real, Tishan Dancer, Poison Strike will be up there. Morrissey, Mr. J, Dio, Good Yarn. So there'll be a little bit of speed in this 1,100 metre race, but it is a bit expected as well. Look, I'm going to stick with Esperance here. His run was quite good at Moonee Valley. He was really well supported, but 9.55 was always too short for him. He comes to Flemington. He gets the big straight. I think this will suit this horse perfectly. If the rain comes, he'll be right in contention. I think he's got a decent enough chance. He's got to carry a lot of weight, but I think he's a good chance at $6 and $2.30 the place. So I'm going to have him on top for me. Ahead of number 4, Hal Vorsen, who is first up here but loves running at this track. Sorry, not this track. He wins usually at Caulfield, but he ran some good races during the winter, and I think he's got a decent enough chance first up here, and probably just a little bit overs. He's been pretty well found in the market at $7.50, but I think he's got a decent enough chance. I'm going to have him in. Number 16, Screen Ager, looks a horse that looks to be progressing. This horse was magnificent, being Steel Madrid at Bendigo and a benchmark 64. It's a big step up in class, but the way that he's won, the way that she's won her first 2 races has been terrific, and it is a sign of a really good horse. Big step up here, but you've got to respect the winning form and the will to win that she has shown so far. Number 2, Poison Strike, in for fourth. Again, a horse that loves running at this track. 3 starts for 2 wins. The rain comes, no problems. It was really good last time at Randwick Point. Beaten by what could be on that occasion. But it is a bit of a step up here, but I think this horse will be well up to it and has a decent each way chance as well. For me, number 1, Esperance is one to beat. I think he's got the X factor. He's going to really appreciate the bigger track. I think he'll be able to wind up, and if the sting comes down to the ground late in the day, he'll be hard to beat. Number 4, Hal Vorsen, in for second. In for third for me, number 16, Screen Ager. And in for fourth, in for third, number 16, Screen Agent. In for fourth, number 2, Poised to Strike. Best bets of the Flemington card, looking through the meeting. It is quite a difficult one. I have gone for a few things at value, but I'm relatively keen on number 2, race number 2, number 7, Grinzinger Star, if we get that good 4 track. So that's race number 2, number 7, Grinzinger Star is one of my best bets. And race number race number 5, number 1, Santana Lane at the 225. Best each way plays. Look, I'm quite keen to play Harlem in the McKinnon Stakes if we get the good track. So it's race. Sorry, that was in race number 6. Where has it gone? Yeah, race number 8, number 7, Harlem, and the $34. Sorry about that, $9 a place. But again, very much the key there is if we get a good track. The other one that I'm keen at each way odds is race number 9, number 1, Esperance, to the $6. So good luck if you're following tomorrow. I really appreciate the support and all your support during this carnival. We found plenty of winners. Hopefully you've enjoyed these videos, and hopefully we have a great day to finish off tomorrow. Good luck if you're following. Enjoy the races tomorrow. Hopefully the rain holds off and you get that good track, and hopefully it plays fairly. So good luck if you're playing tomorrow. Appreciate all the support. And as I mentioned, if you can keep an eye on my social media pages, and also keep an eye on, I'll be posting my Randwick video just after this. So good luck tomorrow and enjoy the racing.